Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. It's Tuesday, it's April 11th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And a really good day today. We had a big downtrend here, easy to spot channel, easy to spot uh, trend line here. And then we reversed. Uh, Pretty much same thing on the way up. Nice two-tiered channel working up here. Uh, you didn't get as many opportunities off of this one as you did the one coming down in the morning, but you were kind of in the process of trying to reverse here, and once it reversed you just didn't get much opportunity to enter again. You might have considered entering here. I didn't mark it, but I'll probably give that one a green one. But past that, it was pretty clear you had this. Once you bounced off this line a few times, it's pretty clear that's your upper channel line, and it's just really hard getting long above that. And you can see it didn't go much further than that, and then it reverses. And so you just didn't get a lot of opportunity to go long. And even this one, I'm not crazy about. I'll explain it when we get there, but I'm not crazy about it. So. But let's back out. We'll talk about what's here, and I'm a little late getting this up. It's about 6 o'clock now here my time, so I'm going to move on through this. We'll get through it and call it a day. So, but first trade I saw this morning after I came in was a short right here, and really we're just going sideways, and you can see that this was really a range at this point, a very tight range on top of that. And we just had a little turn down off the top. Notice you got a little channel working up. You got a break, a new high. And then so now we're just kind of waiting on a lower high. And look how we push through the EMA. We pull back, and you get a really negative bar here that tests this high that we've there's 4 or 5 different times we've turned down off of that. So I like going short there, just trying to ride it to the other side. And this thing moves on down pretty good, pretty quickly. You're probably only looking for a scalp out of this. At least that's the way I'm reading it, because odds are it's going to bounce right here. And so you want to be exited. You want to be exiting right in here. It pushed a little bit lower, but you wouldn't have got much out of it. You really could have considered going long here at this point, because at this point this is a trading range. We haven't really confirmed this trend line until here. So you might consider going long here. I think you're better off to wait on the higher low, and you never get that. It just takes off. So, but if you want to be aggressive, there's nothing wrong with going. Most of these failed breaks are going to be good for a move back to the EMA, back to maybe the original trend line if you have one. But at this point, I wasn't paying as much attention to this trend line. I was, you had to be aware of drawing those first 2 swings, but you're really looking at this as probably a range at this point. So. There's no reason to not consider going long there if you like, because a lot of times when you catch these, you catch the low of the day, or if it's out the upside, you catch the high of the day. And just like this one, when it comes back here, you catch almost the high of the day. And so the next one's this short, and notice that trend line off those first 2 swings. This just confirms it. Another negative bar. Off the top of the trading range. So either way, you got a good go signal right here. That's a double test of this level. I like going short right there. You don't know it's going to take off like this, but look at it go. And that's a sweet thing. And if you caught that one trade, you really could have ridden this all the way down. Probably not. Personally, I'm not going to ride this correction right here out. I'm going to exit and look for another entry. But, if you like to swing trade, there's nothing wrong with that. So, and once we started going lower here, I don't have it on here, I would probably look for that measured move like so. You can see we came close. We didn't quite get there. I would also measure this leg. Oops. I didn't know that was going to happen there. I'd measure that leg, drag it down. And you can see that's pretty much a nice measured move before it bounced right there. So I'd be looking at it like that. But yeah, this turns out to be a nice move down. And it just kind of keeps going, and it bounces off this lower line a couple of times. It's tempting to go long here, but at this point, you've got a confirmed trend line and now a confirmed channel bouncing off of it a couple times. So you better, I'd say I'm definitely not going to go long. I'm looking for shorts at this point. And it comes up, you're moving up. You get an overshoot here, then you get a little double top and a nice bearish bar. I like going short there. And again, it's off to the races. Pulls back, you get a little lower high here. It, it's kind of into these lows, so I'm a little bit hesitant of it, but it is a failed second entry long, so I felt like with that big bearish bar, it was worth risking. And notice your new high there, you pull back first entry, you move down, you get a second entry, it fails, and so we're probably trapping people right there. So for that reason, I still marked it red. It does another little breakout pullback short here, but you're going short at the low of the day, so you don't want to risk that. And you see it did bounce, and it would have stopped you out if you had your stop where it's supposed to go above that. So you're better off to wait. And then notice you get a second entry short. It's the first break of this little shorter term channel working down through here. Went higher first and turn and close and goes out the other side. You could just have a stop there waiting on that second entry, or you could put it right below that bar. Either way, I like it. And we just came off the high, so where were we probably headed? Back down to the low. We did get a break here, so you got to be wary of that. That's another reason I didn't like going short right here below this, even though it pulls back again. I didn't like that one. And you could consider that a trap because this is really a double top, and so you could treat it like a new high. But I still think you're better off to skip that one and wait, and then you get it right here. Boom, another nice move. You get another turn down right here off the midline and EMA, but it's more of a doji. It's not bearish enough. You get this one, but really this is your signal bar, and we just came off the low, so you might get trapped there. So you're better off to wait, see if we can get back to the other side. And it just keeps kind of working lower here till it finally bounces. I don't really see any good entries over here because we've had the close outside and a new low. We've had the close outside of this shorter term run, the new low. And even though it's pretty bearish here, you better wait on a second entry, and you just never really get one. There is a failed second entry long there, and that one would have worked, but it would have been really close and for it bounced. So I just don't recommend. I think this is the last solid entry here until we get back to the trend line again. Then we come back here, and we've already had a break here, but this is a nice second entry short. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry. Big bearish bar right there at the trend line, a little bit away from the EMA. It does snap back there and turn down, but that's right into the EMA. I think you're better off to skip that one. Comes back again, you get a lower high, but again, it's kind of neutral. It's kind of bullish it's more bullish really than neutral. But when it comes back again and turns down and closes inside that, I like hitting it one more time. I really thought we'd push and make a new low, but you got plenty there. And then of course it bounces, and you probably should have had this trend line drawn too, just in case. Turns out this is the one though down here, and notice that you get a double test of this level right here, 1, 2, and it actually goes short first and then turns up, but it's right back into the EMA. You don't really have this trend line confirmed or anything yet. I think you're better off to wait on a lower high, but there's enough reason to go long there if you want to be a little bit aggressive. So, but you're better off to wait and see if you get a lower high, which is right here. Look how it pushes through the EMA, pulls back, touches it and turns up, gives you a bullish bar. I like going long right there. Quick, easy move. I really thought it'd take off there. It doesn't, but needless to say, there's even a short-term little trend line up through there. You get the break and new high, and then it tries to work lower, but it ends up being a trap. But there's a new low right here. Put that one where it goes. Notice how we make a new low, and you pull back first entry. And you get a second entry short right there at this double top. But we're making higher lows up through here, and I just don't think you want to go short there, as bearish as that looks. And you notice you would have got trapped. So there's a great place to go long. It's a nice short trap, failed second entry short. You got room to get out before this double top, and this thing just kind of takes off. You don't know it's going to do that, but you're just hoping to get a scalp. But this turns out to be trade of the afternoon, or trade of the, trade of the day, really right before lunch. It's kind of been choppy for a while, so this turns out to be a great trade. And notice we do kind of confirm. Notice that gap right there, and so that's obvious where your trend channel is. But we do come back here. This is like a double bottom. Well, it is a double bottom. What I like is it went lower right into that EMA and turns and goes out the other side. Here you got to figure we'll probably push up one more time and test this double top. And it's a little bit aggressive because we've been away from the EMA, but it's right off the EMA, so that's where you want to enter. You definitely wouldn't want to enter over here way away from the EMA, and you see what happens. You get burned, and then it comes back and bounces. But it's still a little aggressive because we're coming off the high side. Generally, what's going to happen is we're going to the other side. So I think you're better off just to skip all this, and you just kind of got to be patient. And then we get that failed second entry long right here. And again, you don't want to be going long up here above this, even though you're coming off the EMA, being above all this trend channel. I'm not crazy about it without a great setup. And it looks like there's a trap right here. Notice how it turns down and then goes out the upside. All it did was trap everybody. But when it turns down, when it goes higher there and then turns down right at the top of this channel, I like that one. And then, of course, you get the lower high right here. And if you drew this line right across here and drug it up, that's really where the downtrend started right there. And it fits it perfect. And so that's a perfect place to go short. Then it comes back again. It was tempting to go short right there, but that's an inside bar right inside that big one. And it's a first entry. And if you drew your little short-term trend line, you would see that there's just really, there's really no reason to enter there. You don't get your break till here and then a new high and then it turns down. But it's, this is way away from the EMA. But even then, I'd wait on the lower high, and that gets you into the 2 o'clock hour. So, yeah, I just, if you took that one, you're going to get burned. And so, especially that late in the day. Even though you're still expecting it, I really was expecting it to turn lower here and come on down the low side, but it went back up one more time before it did. And that's what you see a lot of times. They like to push up there and clean out those stops and stuff, or push it down low and clean out the stops. But yeah, really good day. Lots of trades, mostly shorts. There's a couple of longs in there, but mostly it's just shorts today. And this is not really, technically you could call this a range day because we stayed within, we made a high and a low and we traded within that most of the day. We made that the high and low before really by 10 o'clock. So you could still call this a range day, but there's enough movement down and enough movement up just to call this kind of a reversal day. You had a nice trend down and then it reversed. So I wouldn't necessarily trade or treat this like a range day. I'm going to treat this like two separate trends, one down and one up. So hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, it was a good day. You had to be a little careful in here where it's reversing. It took a little bit of time. You want to wait on a nice setup, of course. And this is a good example of, here's your break way up here, and you got more than a measured move here. And of course, you could have got something on this pullback. But you had to be real careful in here because if you tried to get long right in here, you might have got burned. And it's just kind of going sideways there. And that might have been enough to keep you out of both of these longs here. But we were looking for it to try to reverse. So that's the reason I kind of like the longs after that point. Once we got outside that trend line, I kind of like those longs. Just because you're looking for the reverse at that point. So, but anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.